Formula One's transition toward a new technical era has already triggered intense scrutiny across the paddock. As manufacturers prepare power units for 2026, every interpretation of the regulations is being examined in detail. The process is unfolding behind closed doors through workshops and technical meetings where engineers and officials attempt to align innovation with regulatory intent. These early stages are often where disagreements surface. Teams invest heavily in long-term concepts, and even minor regulatory ambiguities can carry major performance implications. That is why the governing body's role has become central, not only to define what is legal, but also to ensure that all manufacturers operate under the same framework before development paths become irreversible. That context framed the latest discussions involving the FIA and power unit specialists after questions emerged over how compression ratios may behave at operating temperatures. Ferrari, Honda and Audi have challenged whether an expansion from the regulated 16.1 ratio up to 18.1 under high thermal conditions should be considered compliant. Mercedes and Red Bull, on the other hand, maintain that their approach falls within the written rules. Technical representatives met with the FIA on Thursday to examine the matter. The objective was to clarify how the regulations should be applied in dynamic conditions and to determine whether any intervention is required. The debate centers on whether thermal expansion effects could be interpreted as an exploitation of regulatory grey areas. Ferrari addressed the situation publicly on Friday during a shakedown at Maranello. Enrico Gualtieri, Ferrari's technical director for power units, confirmed that discussions are ongoing and emphasized the team's confidence in the formal process. "We are addressing the topic together with the FIA. We are still discussing it with them," Gualtieri said. "We had a technical meeting on Thursday, actually a workshop, and we will have another one in the coming days before we meet at the PUAC, the Power Unit Advisory Committee." Gualtieri stressed that Ferrari is relying on the established governance structure. "We trust them to manage the issue in the correct way, following the procedures and the governance set by the regulations," he said, "and we fully trust that the process will be completed in the coming days and weeks." For now, the FIA has not issued a formal ruling. Further meetings are planned with the expectation that the Federation will provide additional guidance after consulting all manufacturers involved. Until then, development work continues in parallel, with teams awaiting clarity that could influence future design choices. The outcome will be closely watched across the paddock, particularly as the 2026 power unit cycle accelerates and concepts become harder to change. What's your take on this situation? Share your opinion below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Formula One updates.